Morning. It is that wonderful day, Monday. Today is Monday, December 4th. It is a nice day for us to be here and alive. Getting Stacy, sweetie, how are you? It's another nice day, maybe cold. Hi, Ryan. How are you this morning? Good morning, everybody. Here we are. It is that wonderful morning. Life is not a dress rehearsal. La, 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 la. Good morning, Loretta. How are you doing today, each and every one of you? You amazing humans. It is a pleasure to be here with you this morning to do what I love. I am absolutely wonderful, amazing, wonderful, and spectacular. And today, life is not a dress rehearsal. Life is not a practice session. And just in case, hi, Kia, how are you this wonderful morning in December? Life is not a dress rehearsal. And life is not a practice session. I wrote this morning. I was inspired to remind you. Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. This is it, guys. This is for real. This is the life we have. There's no two. There's not going to be three. There's not a rerun. There's not another rehearsal. That's it. This life is it. Good morning, Lisa. Life is not a practice session. It's not a dress rehearsal. This is it. This is the only chance we have to do that. Yes, thank you, Stacy. Let's put a little pin on that. Let's pin it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. This life is all we have. Straight, we have a chance to be straight in it, be real in it, be ourselves in it. This is for real. Walk through it, be in it, be straight in it. It is. There is not another chance to go back and say, oh, well, the next life I will do better. No, if you're dreaming about that, get over it. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the life you have. Take a look at yourself. Where are we? Where are we? At ourselves, all of us. Where are we at? That is the thing about life. We have to, every now and again, I talk a lot about inflection. Not reflecting, inflection. Because I want always that we go deep and look at where we are. We are our best friend and we are our worst enemy. We know before somebody tells us we are not heading right, that we know we are already heading the wrong way. We know that. So when somebody tells us we do not need their opinion, some of us get upset and some of us just go, okay. And some of us don't respond. And the thing is, we already know. That's what they don't understand. So take a look at where we are all at. Ask yourself the question, which way are we headed right now with different things in our life? I always ask that. And that is why it's important to go in and inflect on where we are headed with your health, your joy/happiness, because I have to put it in happiness, but my whole thing is joy. Friendship and relationship, your personal development, your finances, your career, or what you do where you are right now. So some of you here in the audience do not have a career anymore. You're not working for someone, but you're alive. So what are you doing with your personal development? Is there something you would like to be able to do that you're afraid to do it? That is your career. That is your personal development. What is that thing? Some people are afraid of social media. They walk into it like you're walking into either very, very hot boiling water, walking on coals, or going for a swim in the lake in January. Yeah. That's how, or some of them look at social media and they see social media as bad. And if you do that, these are the same people that look at money and say money is bad. Social media is bad. You get on there and no. It's all up to us. It's our action. If you are like me and you're on social media, you're going to learn to expect to be criticized. Because criticism is part of somebody noticed you. My dad used to say, they don't talk about me, then they don't know I'm here. And the point is, they have to know I'm here. What do you expect when I have a father like this? Anyway, one you have to remember is that your positive Your positive impact on the world. Tessa-Marie, what do you mean, my positive impact on the world? I'm retired. I am working. I have a job. I have a family. What's my positive impact on the world? How you interact with others is your positive impact on the world. The Instagram is not working. I know there are more people here, but I can't move the screen and you're not coming up. So who knows? Like Kylie would say, who knows about Instagram? The point of it is this. Your positive impact on the world. And you're wondering, what can I do? I'm retired, I'm enjoying my life, my pension, I go there, I do this, I do that, I go this, and I stay up late, and well, do you reuse? Do you recycle? Do you reteach? Do you tell somebody how to do something? Do you instruct? Do you pull somebody back from the edge? Do you say, hey, you know what? This is not the right way to go, if you know it's not the right way to go, without criticizing them for going? Or using yourself as an example. The only reason why we know this is not the right place to go is because we can say to ourselves, I was there. So we can say to that person, you know what? I did this and it didn't work too much for me. So be careful. That is your impact on the world. That person will remember that. That's what you have to remember, is the memory. Remember, there is no treading water in life. You don't tread water in life. No running in place in life, because everything is in motion. Life is a constant movement. So saying I'm just going to cruise and take it easy, sit under the mango tree, sit under the vegetable tree or whatever tree, the acorn and the whatever, you know what I mean? The oak tree. And I'm just going to cruise through life because you see, I work so hard. Get over that. You cruise, you lose. In cruising, you're not doing anything. You are not you're not touching another soul. You're not even touching your soul because you're not being yourself. You realize, okay, I work for 30, 40 years, so now I'm going to sit my backside here and don't do nothing. Well, guess what? Have you noticed when you sit that backside too long, it doesn't move? When it gets up, it's cramping. What about if you had just moved it a little bit? And that is what life is. There is no treading of water. There is no running in place because everything is in motion. There isn't anything that is not in motion. Leaves are moving and blowing. The wind is in motion. The time is going by. Things are happening. So you have to look and see, where am I with my health? Where am I? Where am I with my health? Do you like where you are? Or you could ask yourself a question. What can I do now? So sometimes you have your leg hurts and and you're dragging it, you're hurting. Maybe a conversation to find out, I understand you're hurting, but I am alive and I have to move. So let's do this. Instead of calling a friend and telling them, well, you know, I'm here with my old knee or my bad leg or this or that, and get up, refresh, shake yourself up. For the fun of it, you know what I admire when I see it on people? And sometimes, you know, you watch something and somebody shows up with an outlandish shirt or a bow tie that just speaks. And I go, yeah, you are showing yourself. Why are you doing this? Were you born like this? You came out screaming. And all of a sudden, you want to take your life and put it into a little cocoon. I am so good. No, that is not what it is. Just live life. If you want to go around and be so good, then convent for you. But if that is not what you came into the world to be yourself. Find out. Do not be ashamed of being you. Do not be ashamed of saying, I am making sure my health is at the best I can. My happiness and my joy, my friendships with people and relationship. I'm developing myself. I'm reading books that are not normal for me. It's difficult. I do not understand it and I push through it. I am standing here today to tell you, when I first picked up, which one? I don't even know, the certificates are so many. The mutual fund one, that was the first one. That was reading Greek. I had never done, I knew about it. I invested and fooled around with it because I worked in the bank. But I had never gone into the intricacies of it. And when I read that book once, my dad said you only read a book once and you devour a book after that. So I knew I had to read it from page one to the last page and never stop. Finished it. And then I said, okay, I'm going to read you and I'm going to highlight what jumps up at me. And I must have read that book 4 times. And every time I read the book, I made highlights. And on my 5th reading, I started to only concentrate on the highlights and the questions and this. So it's not, and I must have been 48 when I did that. So don't come telling me your brain has stopped and you're 30 years younger than me. Wake up and start functioning. You'll have a life ahead of you that is moving. Your impact on the world is important. It starts in your house though. So in your house, you have to leave something. You guys hear me talk about my father and my mother a lot. It was a busy household. That didn't mean my parents didn't work. My mom ran her own business. She was just going in her stuff. My dad was on the other side. And one day I said something to him. He said, I don't know. How did he put it? I don't know. I just make money and I don't know. But your mother runs everything. So I just make the money. I have no idea what I own, what I don't own. She does the willing and the dealing, and then she comes to tell me her stories. And that was it. But he said, I will not stop moving until my legs just collapsed. And he never stopped moving. He would, even when he was losing his mind, he always was talking to somebody about something. He never let go. If you're not improving, enriching, building, unfolding, if you're not adding assets to your personal and professional value every day, then you are headed on the downward curve of life. It's not a doom and gloom. This is not doom and gloom. This is telling you that if you can inflect and you look at yourself and you realize you're not improving, you're not enriching, how do you improve? Keep moving. Walk, exercise, stretch. Touch your toe every day. If all you can do is get up and touch your toe, and if next day you can hold those toes and pull them towards you and bend yourself into you, guess what you're doing to that wonderful spine? You're stretching it. And you do not have to do anything for half an hour to an hour. Everything we do in life is in small amounts. Like the rain, when it's light, it does more good to the land than the showers. So if you consistently pull and stretch, you will feel better. Maybe not today, and if you don't do it tomorrow, that doesn't mean you will fail. But one will help you and one will stop you. One will empower you and the other one will disempower you. So if you stretch a little bit, if you spend less, you are more empowered for later on. If you realize spiritually you need to balance that, you are more empowered to give you peace of mind. So it's little bits, but when you don't do it today, or today I don't feel like it, you know how many feel like I have had to push through? I do not let my feelings interfere with what I desire to succeed at. I have a conversation with my feeling and I say, hey guy, I must do this. I promise myself to do this. And that's why I always ask you, do not forget to honor the promise you made to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Even if you don't finish it, get there. It's not finishing the thing right away, but it's doing the action in a small amount that matters. I always refer to gardening because those seeds are so tiny. I didn't know something. I remembered my mother saw impatiens in here one year and she said to me, these are so pretty. They would go so well at Jordel. And she said, I would love these seeds. And I said, I don't think they have seeds. She said, every plant has a seed. So she went to the things and these little things that popped, there they were, seeds. And she showed it to me. She collected those seeds all that summer. The next time I went to Dominica, The whole hills heading up to the bank plantation was impatience everywhere, because they pop and they win and they fly and they just grow wherever, and the land down there is so fertile. So that is what it is. Everything starts with a small seed. Remember that. So remember, you have to build, you have to enrich, you have to unfold, you have to open up, you have to add assets to your personal and professional value every day. You know, because my work and what I was taught and what I was brought up in has a lot to do with success in finance. That doesn't mean that finance is the only one. Listen again. I was brought up that finance was important. It gave you freedom. It gave you experiences you wouldn't have if you didn't have it. So that was my upbringing. Then my training, I graduated to it. I worked for a bank, and I realized they will pay to train me to be a certified financial planner, and they will pay for the course while they pay me a salary, and then they will pay me because I did the course. So I'm saying that's a win-win. Why am I not taking it? 51 years old. It wasn't easy, but I held on to it because I knew if I did it, I could come out with a lot better. I would get the financial independence I desired. But it meant a lot of other things. And that is why you have to remember, a genuinely successful life means your physical, your emotion, your mental, your spiritual, your joy, your happiness, your relationship, your personal development, your career, your sense of fulfillment, your legacy, your impact you have on the world. That is what a genuinely successful life. It's not only about finance. Finance is important, and many people believe if they get money, they'll be happy. But it's a fulfilled life we're looking for. A genuinely successful life means your physical, your emotion, your mental, your spiritual, your joy, your happiness, your relationship, your personal development, your career, your sense of fulfillment, your legacy, your impact on the world, all has to do with it. It's not only finance. But finance is me, so I talk about it. But the rest is part of it too. You can have all the money in the world stuck up there, and you're not experiencing the joy of it because you let your health go down the curve. You let your emotions go down the curve. You let your anger saturate your being. You let your despising of others, your hate engulf you. You decided you are too old to learn, and you are left behind. You do not take the time and listen when someone is teaching you something new. You give up before you learn. It doesn't matter how old are you. Can you imagine if when you started to crawl, you did not grab onto the table and stand there, and you weren't cheered by your parents because you stood? Or you took that step and you fell. Did you imagine if you said, this walking business is not for me, I'm going to sit there? You didn't. But as an adult, you are doing something and you go, this is not for me, I'm just going to give up. Really? You didn't give up when you were a child. But as an adult, your most favorite word is, I'm just going to give up. Everything is an anger issue for you. Is that normal? And I need to repeat this. Guys, I cannot see who is here. Oh, hi, Lynn. Here they come. Hi, Nancy. Hello, everybody. Hi, Azim. Azim is gone already. He doesn't last long. Hi, Sanji. Hi, Yuko. Good morning. This thing is not moving. You have to drag it up. So anyway, if you had decided as a child that you were not going to walk because it looks too difficult, or you fell too many times, or you pushed back too many times, what would happen to you? You'd be crawling around the world when everybody else is walking and moving much faster than you. So ask yourself this question. Are you presently crawling through life? Because you cannot keep treading water. Life is not about treading water. It's not about running in place. It's about moving, because everything moves. We have to remember that. So when you think that money is going to help you to be successful, are you truly ready for it? Because while you're looking for the money, can you put some time into your health, into balance, into being less critical of others, into observing and listening and encouraging and teaching? Are you? Ask yourself that question. Because it's not only about accumulating finance. How do you feel though? Are you joyful today knowing you only have $5 in the bank? Are you also joyful today that you have $400,000 in your bank account? Are you really joyful? Because you have $500,000, $1 million in your life. Your house is worth $200.9 million. Your this is worth another this. Is that enough? When you walk through that house, are you comfortable? Are you joyful? Are you seeing more than just the money section? Are you seeing that is a warm place with heat and hydro and water? Are you realizing you can press a button and it obeys you? When last were you grateful for that? Because life is not a dress rehearsal. You're not getting chance and you're not preparing for heaven. You better enjoy this heaven you have. If you cannot enjoy the one you can see, how can you plan to enjoy one you don't even know where it is? Come on, man. Think. Just think. I'm going to pray and go to church and I'll be great and I'll honor God and I'll go to heaven. And where is it? Did you get the direction yet? I remember my mom would say, I'm just going to send them to HELL in a hand basket with the instruction in the basket, how to get there. And I always wonder where that was. And I still wonder when people say, my only aim now is to get to heaven. Really? Where is it? Did you get a map yet? Is GPS working for you towards heaven? Heaven is no. Heaven is enjoying where you are and really going deep. And if you are not able to enjoy your life, ask for guidance on that. Say, I worked and I followed direction. I kept the golden rule. I did my best and now I'm sitting here and I'm not really savoring the moments I have. And it's up to us to seek that, because if you go looking for something, it's going to come looking for you. When you conspire to have something, the universe and God conspires to help you too. So if you're looking for joy, ask for help. You ask for help for money, but the thing that is most important that will make you walk like the French, you don't care, I'm going to do what I have to do. And you're not doing it because you cannot keep going like this. You have to stop and enjoy what is in front of you. It means all these things and more. So, a genuinely successful life means your physical, your emotion, mental, your spiritual, your joy, your happiness, your relationship, your personal development and your career, your sense of fulfillment, your legacy, your impact on the world. It means all of that and more. That's what that life is. This is it. No other life but this one. Are you ready? Are you pleased with it? What are you going to do with it? Are you pleased so far? And if you can answer, yes, I am pleased with so far. I found joy. And joy surpasses all understanding. Joy makes people believe you are drunk when you don't drink. Remember the apostles? When they got the joy of the Holy Spirit, they said, oh, they are drunk. Nothing fazes them. But if you say nothing fazes me and you say it with anger, then you haven't received joy. When something doesn't faze you, you have to be able to just smile. Look at it and say to yourself, it is as it is now. What can I do to work on this? What can I do to fix this? It is as it is. What can I do in the future so I do not repeat this? That's what we have to do. It is as it is. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to break down the wall and get onto the other side because you choose to. You have to go in and look at it and ask yourself the question, am I living the life I desire to live? And what it is missing for me, according to me, my vision of the life that I desire. What is it? As I said, finance I talk a lot about because my training, my life, that's what I was brought up from day one to see, to understand, to comprehend. But I realize I need my emotion to be balanced. I need to have my emotion, so I make choices that do not put me further on the downward curve. You see, we all start life together like this. There are two roads and they split open. One goes down and the other goes up. Which one are you going to? It doesn't mean it's only about the money. It means about your emotional balance, your mental capability to recall what you have learned and to apply it appropriately at the right time. That is huge. If your emotion is crazy and you were taught, yes, you're a police officer, you can shoot. But when? But if your emotion is whack, you're going to do it and your mental ability is not balanced. You're going to do it the wrong way at the wrong time. You will not be recalling the training you received and apply it appropriately at the right time, do you? That is the extreme. But we do it every day. We know how we should walk. You come to the point in your life where a slipper that goes slip, flip, 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 flip is dangerous. We know that. There comes a time a slipper that is flopping on your feet is dangerous. You know that because you tripped on it. You know that it happened again and again and again until one day it actually hurt you. And you do not do anything about it. Physically, you're stopping it. You have all this money in the bank, but now physically you cannot go and use it. You have to go for physio or something. So what about if you invest in a pair of running shoes that laces up, that you wear only in the house? You see, living a fulfilled life is taking care of that. Spiritually, where are you? Where are you? It's not the God of spiritual going to the church I'm talking about only. How do you feel about you? Are you good enough? Do you have it? Do you know you can use it? You understand? Are you willing to let others go on their journey untethered to you? Not attached. If you birth them, remember they cut that cord. Let them go. Of course, you have to watch how you spend your money. But if it's going to make you hard and miserable every time you need to pay a bill that you got a service for, what is wrong with you? You want to get paid. You want your children to get paid. You want your employer or your money or your investment to return. But you do not want to pay for the services you get. Are you okay? Ask yourself that question. What is wrong with me? Am I okay? No, your relationship. When last you pick up the phone and say hello to somebody that you know is there for you? Or just a friend? COVID detached us and it attached us. It attached us physically and it attached some of us to our devices physically also. Use it though and say hello. You might be sick, but your fingers are not broken and dead, are they? And if your tongue can still move, you can press a button and write it with your words. What are you doing to develop yourself? What have you learned? When last you read a book? When last you sat down and just picked up a book? I don't care if you read a Harlequin romance, because everywhere the authors goes, my dad said to me, you will go too. Therefore, he said, you can visit many worlds without going there. So develop, read something that is unusual for you, different. Then I talked about yourself. Be yourself. Do you like that you have to conform because somebody wants you to change. How are you working with that? You don't have to yell at them. You don't have to get angry. You just have to be you. Eventually, they'll get tired of hitting their head against that concrete wall and realize that person is who they're supposed to be. Leave them alone. Speak your truth. It might not always be the thing they want to hear, and they might twist it. Your truth might be twisted to set a trap for fools. Trust me, they'll do that. They will take when you say, I am doing my best, to mean you are boastful, to mean that you're vain, you're proud. All the words they can put to keep you down. But what matters the most is that you're being yourself. So, this life we're living is not a dress rehearsal. It's not. It is certainly not a practice session for another life, for another time. Each time is now, and each time has something. If you're sitting in a dark room because you're afraid of the electric bills going up, try turning on all the lights. Put the TV and the radio, something on, and start dancing, even if you cannot dance. Move your mind. Let your mind see something different. Question life and be the person that you desire to be. Now, this morning blessing is purposeful. I have a reason for doing this. My purpose for doing this today is, in the coming weeks, you're going to have time when the world just stops for 48 hours in rest mode. After the Christmas season, the Christmas day, after the big dinner, we are all going to sit down. There'll be days like Boxing Day, unless you want to go fighting for bargains, you will maybe stay at home. The weather might be warm where you are, so you can maybe go for a walk and enjoy just being outdoors. You might be where it's cold and snowy, and maybe you can move your chair towards a window. Put your foot up on that couch or that cushion, whatever you have. Look out the window. Just look out and start to inflect on 2023. That's the whole thing. That's my purpose. Boxing Day and those days between Christmas and New Year and even New Year's Day, when the world is like that, it's just rocking. It's moving because everything moves. But it's at that level where you can spend some time inside of your head, inflecting with your heart and saying, how am I doing if those things Tessa-Marie talked about? Emotion, mental, physical, spiritual, your relationship, your development, your career, your love, all of those things. Your finances, do not forget it. And ask yourself a question. Maybe at that time, take your goal setting journal with you. Take your notebook with you. Take something with you and write. Do not repeat it into the phone. It hasn't got that thing. Write it down. And see how you feel. And see how you feel about 2023. That's a feeling about it. You're not going back there. You will never relive that day. You'll never relive that year. Because everything is moving. Life is not a tread in water. It is not running in place. It's moving. So your next choice now is, how can I apply what I inflected on? Or what you muse on. Muse is funny. It makes you joyful. What did you muse on? Did you like it? And then what can you do to fix it? So guys, thank you. So that's, you see, every time I speak with you, there's a purpose for this. So let me see what you guys are. Sorry guys, I couldn't move this all the time. So good, Josie said, everybody, oops. And then thank you for your insight. You're constantly giving me plenty to consider and work through. Thanks, Kia. I'm happy that we did. Amazing morning blessing. Thanks, Stacy. Happy Monday. Tanji, everybody's here. Azim dropped by. Azim is always dropping by. So let me just say, hi, Kia, Nancy, Stacy, Yuko, Lisa, Ryan, Loretta, and Lynn. Thank you so much, guys, for dropping and hanging. I am trusting that something is going to click. So today, ask yourself that question. When you're reflecting on the morning blessing, was that a nugget? Do not ignore nuggets. They have many nooks and crannies, and what you find in nooks and crannies is secrets, things to make you smarter, healthier, and all of that. And of course, when you get that black pearl, you know you've got it. And when you get that amazing thing called the Canadian diamond, do not forget it. Look at it. See what you can see in it, because inside of that reflection is where you will find yourself. Have an amazing and wonderful day. Arigato. Talk to you guys later. Some of you I will, and some of you say, have fun, everybody. Bye.